Right. There is no good way to say this. This is Peter Portman. Minutes before entering cryogenic sleep, everyone I know and love were down there, waiting for us expectantly for our return voyage. It's scary. My life, entire life, even before I entered this realm, all took place on Earth, and here, I'm about to fly away from it. Maybe a few other iterations of myself have been in space before. I don't know. But here I'm the first, the only one. Celia, I love you so much. Take care of yourself, never falter, and keep on smiling for me. Monica, thanks for welcoming me to this world. Thanks for giving me a place to be, to thrive, to strive, to
T-minus 20 seconds.
Dad, if you're out there, if you're still hoping for me.
All systems
thank
nominal.
you for doing what you did. I never would have grown old the
12,
way like this
11,
had you not been
10,
the bright mind that you
9,
are.
8, 7, 6, engine start, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Tower cleared.
Okay, we got a roll program.
Welcome to the Deep Dive, everyone. We are looking at a story today that takes wacky internet roleplay and turns it into, well, an absolute masterclass in sci-fi tragedy. Let's call this one The Gravity of Grief.
Oh, that is a fitting title. It really is.
Right. So just to give you a quick teaser of the crazy stuff that happens in this deep dive. Imagine trying to save the world, but you end up missing the birth of your child due to black hole time dilation, and then you watch your crewmate get swallowed by a literal gravity tsunami.
Yeah, it's a massive pivot. I mean, we are diving into the Doki Doki Roleplay universe, the DDRPU.
Which is usually so lighthearted.
Exactly. Typically, this is a massive collaborative storytelling space known for, magical anime tropes, bizarre character crossovers, and just pure lighthearted chaos.
Like arguing over pineapple pizza.
Right, exactly. But in this specific compilation of lore documents and chat logs, the community suddenly forces their characters into this harsh, heartbreaking sci-fi opera.
It's so intense.
It really explores lost time, immense grief, and just the sheer psychological toll of deep space isolation.
Okay, so to set the stage for you all, Earth in the DDRPU is facing an apocalyptic global emergency.
A really bad one.
Yeah, there is a worldwide forest fire that is burning so intensely, it is actually melting the planet's core.
Which is terrifying.
Totally. The atmosphere is choked with ash. It's absolute chaos. And a character named Principal Ema Sky, who functions as this brilliant scientist in the universe, she broadcasts this dire situation to everyone.
And the reaction on the ground is just peak DDRPU.
Oh, completely. Down on the ground, you have this incredibly bizarre but wonderful mix of crossover characters frantically trying to stall the inevitable.
Like who?
Well, you've got people like Handy Manny, the cartoon builder, and this highly chaotic character named Henry. And they are desperately constructing this massive transparent dome to protect DDRPU Town from the fallout.
Which creates a really vivid contrast right from the start, right?
It does.
You have these colorful animated figures attempting a desperate engineering fix for a literal planetary collapse. But Ema Sky realizes a dome is just a band-aid on a dying world.
It's not going to hold.
No, she calculates that they need a permanent solution, which means abandoning the planet. She proposes a desperate space mission to find a brand new, habitable world.
And stepping up to this seemingly impossible task are 3 volunteers. First, you have Peter Portman.
The archivist.
Yep, he's the main character and essentially the archivist hero of the town. Next is Reimu Hankare, this fierce shrine maiden borrowed from the Touhou game series.
Someone who usually deals in like spiritual magic and flying around shooting energy blasts,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Not exactly an astronaut. And finally, you have Queen Takagi, who is the immortal, immensely powerful ruler of the DDRPU herself.
Wow. And the departure scene, it really grounds all these grand cosmic stakes into something deeply personal.
Oh man, Henry's goodbye.
Yeah, Henry's goodbye. So before they launch, Henry, who usually provides comic relief, he drops his entire chaotic persona.
He gets so serious.
He really does. He runs up to Peter, grabs him by the shoulder, looks him dead in the eye, and delivers this incredibly heavy line. He says, "You were chosen for this specific mission, and you need to accomplish it no matter how hard it is. Lux with you, soldier."
Oh, and then the salute.
Yeah, he gives Peter this poignant, rigid salute. It's chilling.
It's a fantastic scene.
Yeah,
But I'm struggling with one thing here as we look at this setup.
that's that.
Well, you've got Queen Takagi, right? She's an immortal ruler who bleeds golden healing blood. You have Peter, a guy walking around with literal resurrection abilities.
Yeah, he's got Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Right. So why build a rocket? Why not just snap their fingers and magic the fire away? It feels like they're choosing the hardest possible solution for a universe that usually plays fast and loose with reality.
That observation hits on a core problem in collaborative storytelling. It's often called the God mode trap.
Oh, I've heard of that. Like when characters are too powerful.
Exactly. When characters have access to infinite magic, immortality, or, resurrection cards, narrative tension drops to 0.
Right, because nothing matters.
If you can fix a melting planetary core with a quick spell, there is no struggle, there is no story. What makes this arc brilliant is the conscious restraint of the players.
They hold themselves back.
They do. The writers behind these characters willingly chose to strip away their usual magical safety nets. They accepted the hard, unforgiving rules of astrophysics for this specific storyline.
So they can't just blast their way out.
Nope. By placing these borderline gods into a scientifically rigid scenario, the players enforce genuine vulnerability.
I mean, for you listening, imagine stepping completely out of your comfort zone to solve a crisis. Your usual safety nets are gone, your primary schools are useless, and you have to adapt to an environment that is actively hostile to your existence.
It's terrifying.
You can't just wave a magic wand. You have to put on a spacesuit, face the void, and just hope the math works out.
And the math is exactly what turns this mission into a psychological thriller.
Oh boy, yeah.
The physical obstacles of space quickly become these devastating emotional hurdles. Specifically, the introduction of time dilation.
This is where the story shifts from a standard rescue mission into something deeply, deeply tragic.
Let's talk about the journey.
So the crew launches. They travel to Saturn, navigate their way through a wormhole, and find themselves deposited near a massive black hole.
And orbiting uncomfortably close to this black hole is their first potential candidate for a new home.
A location they dub Rover's Planet.
Right. And Queen Takagi, who understands the terrifying physics of their location, warns the crew before they even open the airlock.
Stepping onto this planet comes with a massive cost.
Because of the black hole's gravitational pull, time moves incredibly slowly for them relative to the rest of the universe.
The math on this is brutal.
It is. 1 single hour on the surface of Rover's planet equals 3.5 months back on Earth.
It is the theory of relativity weaponized against the characters' hearts.
Seriously. And the players had to actively negotiate these mechanics in their out-of-character chats, agreeing on the math of the time jump.
It sets up an agonizing premise. Every minute they spend fumbling around on this planet is weeks of history passing by for the people they're trying to save.
So they're sitting on a ticking clock,
which in any good story means the clock is about to break.
Oh, of course.
So what goes wrong on the surface? They land on this shallow, endless ocean that covers the planet. And while attempting to maneuver, their ship's engine gets severely flooded.
Oh, no.
They are completely stranded. They can't take off, they can't fly away, they just have to wait for the water to drain.
And time is moving.
Exactly. They sit there in the cramped ship, helpless, watching the clock tick. By the time the engine is finally clear and they restore enough power to check their long-range communications,
How long?
9 earthly months have passed.
9 months.
Yeah,
An entire human gestation period evaporated while they sat in a puddle.
it's so sad. Peter sits down at the communication console and finds a backlog of over 50 video messages.
Oh, man. 50.
Yeah, and in these videos, his newlywed wife, Celia, documents her life back on the burning earth. She reveals that while he was stuck on this flooded ship for just a few hours, she went through an entire pregnancy. Okay, so picture this. They are still parked on this shallow, knee-deep ocean, right?
Right.
Reimu, the Shrine Maiden, ventures out into the water in her spacesuit. She is trying to inspect an old, rusted scientific rover that was left on this planet by Dr. Sky 40 years prior, hoping to salvage some environmental data.
Seems like a normal task.
As she is trudging through the water, the crew notices a massive, dark silhouette forming on the horizon.
Oh, boy.
At first, they assume it's just a mountain range in the distance, shrouded in the gloom. But then, the mountain starts moving.
The descriptive writing in the chat logs here shifts to pure cinematic spectacle. It is not a mountain at all.
No, it is an enormous, towering tsunami.
Insane.
The water of the shallow ocean is being pulled straight upward into the sky by the immense gravitational force of the nearby black hole.
It's a colossal wall of water scraping the clouds.
And it crashes down with unimaginable force. Reimu is completely devoured by the waves.
The sheer scale of that destruction, it just shatters the perceived safety of their mission in an instant. And what is most fascinating is how the players handled the immediate aftermath of this disaster.
Right, because how do you even process that in a text-based format?
By using the medium itself to simulate shock.
What do you mean?
After Reimu is swept away, Peter's player doesn't just write that his character is sad, he actually stops typing.
Wait, really?
Yes, there is a documented 2-hour period of absolute radio silence in the Roleplay channel.
Oh my god.
He goes offline, leaving dead air in the chat to simulate Peter falling into a paralyzing nonverbal depression.
That is so intense.
It is a masterful use of the format to convey absolute crushing grief.
Just 2 hours of real world staring at a screen, absorbing the loss.
Yeah.
While Peter is completely shut down, Queen Takagi, the immortal ruler, she wades out into the turbulent water to reach the rover Reimu was trying to salvage.
The one she died for.
Exactly. She yanks the data drive from it, plugs it in, and the screen just reads one single word. Uninhabitable.
A crushing revelation. The very thing Reimu gave her life for was entirely useless.
Takagi absolutely loses it. She rages, she screams, she smashes the machine to pieces in the shallow water.
It's just raw anger.
She is furious because her friend was swept away by a gravity wave for absolutely nothing. The planet is dead.
So bleak.
But I have to ask about the permanence of this.
Okay.
We discussed earlier that the players chose to strip away their magic to raise the stakes.
Right.
But Peter has resurrected powerful beings like these Scarlet Sisters in previous story arcs. He carries literal resurrection abilities in his pocket.
Yes, he does.
So why can't he just reach into his deck and bring Reimu back? Why does this specific death feel so utterly permanent to them?
It all comes back to the thematic isolation of deep space. Out there, millions of light years from Earth, they are entirely cut off from the mystical lifelines of DDRPU Town.
So no portals.
There are no interdimensional portals opening up to save the day. The creators enforce a harsh reality. Gravity, water, and the vacuum of space do not care about your magic cards or your spiritual energy.
That is brutal.
The rules of this specific arc dictate that survival requires science and endurance, not spells. And because the players strictly adhere to that imposed limitation, the grief becomes raw, real, and inescapable.
Yeah, if they used a resurrection item here, it would entirely undermine the emotional weight they just spent hours building.
Exactly. It would feel cheap.
They really committed to the bit. They let the tragedy breathe and allowed their characters to be genuinely broken by it.
So what happens next?
Well, with Reimu presumed dead and the planet deemed a failure, Peter is forced to step up. He has to break out of his catatonia and become the captain.
That's a huge burden.
It is. He makes the agonizing decision to leave Reimu behind in the watery grave of Rover's planet. He and Takagi launch the ship, leaving the black hole's orbit to reach the next viable location on their map, which is Saphira's planet.
The atmosphere in the ship is just heavy. They are grieving, silent, and defeated.
The pacing here is incredibly deliberate.
Right. The players transition from high-octane panic during the tsunami back to the claustrophobic, oppressive silence of the spaceship. They land on the snowy, icy mountains of Saphira's planet, entirely drained.
They are just sitting in the cockpit, looking out at this frozen wasteland, mourning their lost friend.
And then
knock, knock, knock.
Oh, wait!
Yes. They hear a knocking sound coming from the outside roof of their spaceship.
In space.
Yes. A mysterious, distorted voice crackles through their short-range comms. Peter, completely bewildered, slowly cycles the airlock door, and suddenly, an unconscious body drops down from above, landing on the floor of the ship.
Who is it?
It's Rockaway.
What?
She's clad in this incredibly dirty, scratched-up, battered spacesuit, but her chest is rising and falling. She's breathing. She is alive.
It is a stunning reversal.
You're telling me she didn't drown in the gravity wave?
Apparently not.
She somehow grabbed onto the outside of the spacecraft and was just dangling on the bumper of the spaceship, escaping a black hole's gravity and surviving the freezing vacuum of space.
Yep.
I was laughing out loud at the sheer audacity of this plot twist. It is such classic DDRPU chaos.
It defies all logic, all physics, and all reason. Everything we just discussed about adhering to hard science and strict astrophysics goes completely out the window in this single moment.
How does that even work within the rules they established?
It works because of a concept in collaborative writing known as the rule of cool.
The rule of cool.
Yes, intertwined with the inherent joy of role-playing. You have to remember the context of how the story is being made. You have real people sitting at their keyboards who have just spent days or weeks putting their characters through absolute, unrelenting misery.
Oh, for sure. The heavy themes of lost time, missed parenthood, the sudden violent death.
Exactly. The tension was at its absolute peak, and it was bordering on being too bleak for a community that usually thrives on fun interaction.
They needed a win.
Sometimes breaking your own rules and defying hard science is absolutely necessary to deliver the ultimate emotional payoff and relief for both the players and the audience. They endured the suffering, so they earned that miracle.
They really did. Looking back at this massive arc, we always try to pick out the best moments. What are the standout highlights for you?
Oh, definitely the 2 hours of real-time silence. The way Peter's player just stopped typing to simulate that crushing nonverbal grief after the tsunami. It's such a brilliant use of the chat log medium. It really sticks with you.
Yeah, that was haunting. For me, the standout dramatic moment has to be the tsunami itself. Just the imagery of a mountain on the horizon turning out to be a gravity-pulled wave. It's just pure, terrifying sci-fi action.
Incredible visuals.
But then, my favorite funny moment, the one that just made me lose it, is definitely Reimu on the bumper.
It's so absurd.
It is. Just the mental image of this powerful anime shrine maiden clinging to the roof of a spaceship like a cartoon cat. It's hilarious, and it's the perfect release of tension.
It proves that even when you take wacky, overpowered characters out of their familiar, magical settings and strip away their abilities, the core of what makes them compelling remains intact.
Right, their loyalty, their grief, and their resilience shine through the text. We watched Peter transition from a heartbroken father forced to watch his daughter grow up via delayed video logs into a grieving astronaut who had to make the impossible call to leave a friend behind.
And finally, into a stunned captain welcoming back a crewmate who defied the impossible.
It is an emotional roller coaster from start to finish.
And it highlights the unique power of role-playing as a medium. The story isn't predetermined. The emotional highs and lows are experienced in real time by the writers themselves, reacting to each other's prompts.
Which leads to these incredibly authentic moments of despair and triumph.
Yeah.
But as always with the DDRPU, the story is never quite over. We want to leave you with a chilling thread to ponder. While Peter and Takagi are inside the ship, celebrating Reimu's miraculous survival and finally taking a breath, the lore documents reveal what happens next on the icy surface of Saphira's planet.
Oh boy, here we go.
The Kree ventures out into the snow and stumbles across a massive, dead spacecraft buried deep under the ice.
Just waiting there.
When they breach the hull, they find an active cryo chamber. And inside that chamber, they wake up an astronaut named Saphira Star, who has been frozen in a deep sleep for 40 years.
A literal ghost from the past suddenly brought into the present.
Exactly. So I want you to think about this. If Reimu could survive the impossible, crushing depths of space and a black hole's gravity just by clinging to a hull,
Yeah.
what dark secrets, what madness, or what betrayals might a lone astronaut be hiding after being frozen under alien ice for 4 decades?
That is a terrifying thought.
The rules of reality have already been broken once, and the waters of this story are getting murky again. Until next time, keep diving deep.